Take two. Hey everyone, it's Heather Fab in Okinawa, Japan, and this video today is really just giving advice to persons who may be thinking of coming to Japan. Just actually, I have a list. I made a list just to make sure I covered what I wanted to say, which is not long, just 3 things that I'm gonna talk about, things to do before coming to Japan. I may have to do another list because as I go on, there are things that I think about and think it would be nice for you guys to know. So I don't know, let's see, but here goes. So if you are thinking of coming to Japan, you, especially as an English teacher, you will want to learn Japanese. I know these schools, when they're recruiting, they tell you that you don't need to learn Japanese because you're going to be teaching English, but it becomes very important when you have to do your day-to-day activities, like when you get for me, excuse me, when I get my bill, when initially, I don't do it anymore, but when I got my bills, or well, actually I still do, not my bills, but like information from the government, like concerning my health insurance or so, I'm not able to read it, so I don't know what it is saying, and sometimes Google Translate doesn't do a good job. I say Google Translate because that's the one I use, but it doesn't always translate accurately, so the information may not be clear. It may be a bit jumbled and confusing. So what I have to do, or what I usually do, is just take it to the office and give it to my coworker there and ask her what this is, which is like it's kind of embarrassing, and it can be really weird if you're a private person and you really don't want to have people involved in your day-to-day activities like that. It can be something really personal and you don't want people to be aware of that kind of information. But well, I've learned to not have any shame here because I just can't read it. If it were in maybe hiragana and katakana, I probably could try, but there's always kanji, and it's just difficult to read. So I just give it to her. So if you're coming, it would be good for you to learn some Japanese, even if you're not able to read it, but you're able to speak it. It makes a world of a difference. Okay. The other thing that I would encourage you to do is, if you intend on driving when you're here, it would be to your advantage to get your international driver's license. Fortunately, I did that before I came here, but then I decided that I wouldn't get a car because it's really, really expensive. So you have to pay. There are different kinds of cars. I shared that in a previous video. So there are what they call K cars, KEI, short for a long Japanese word that starts with KEI. So those are more economical vehicles that you can drive. They're much smaller, use less gas, and all the expenses concerning those vehicles are less. So you can get one of those, which would work out better if you're want to keep in a good financial position. But I found it to be still expensive because, like where I am, my apartment, I don't have a parking space. So if I were to get a car, I would have to pay a monthly fee to park the car there, plus the regular expenses that comes with owning a car. And so far I have been managing without the car. Fortunately, I have a very good friend who will take me to places that are not easily accessible by the public transportation system. So that works out for me. But if you are thinking of getting a car here, get your international driver's license. And maybe even if you're not thinking about it now, you should get it just in case, because when you come here to get one from scratch, it's gonna be really, really expensive. And it's gonna be interesting too in terms of the language, because I think you have to do it in Japanese. I don't know if they have English speakers at the licensing authority, but trust me, get it before you come here. It makes your life a whole lot easier. Okay, so that's something you definitely want to do. It's better you have it and don't need it than need it and don't have it. I've heard of persons who have actually left Japan to go back home to get their international driver's license because of how expensive it is to get it here and how tedious the process is. So to make your life easier, just get it before you come. Alright, the other thing that I wanted to say to you is there's a whole lot of advice and information that people give on YouTube regarding what you need to do before you come to Japan, and I would tell you to take advice with a grain of salt. By that I mean that depending on where you will be, the conditions will be different, the environment will be different, your experiences will be different from other persons. So for example, one of the things I heard before I came was that I needed to walk with hand towels, like the little rags to dry your hands after you use the restroom. I was told that I need to walk with those because when you go to the restrooms, there's nothing to dry your hand, no paper towel, no electric dryer. And I was so surprised that I have been here over 6 months now, and I don't recall ever being in a restroom where there is no paper towel or hand dryer. Actually there was one. Yeah, there was one. But most of the restrooms that I have been into have had paper towels and hand dryers. So I took all my rags that I had with me. So I have all of them still packed up in my room, not being used. Right? So sometimes some of the information is just wait. You know what I mean? And if you can talk with someone who is in the area that you will be living, it will be really good, because that's more precise than just taking information generally from people. Because Japan has different prefectures, your experiences will be different. I'm in Okinawa, which is more closer to the tropical kind of environment. Other persons who would be in Tokyo would have a different experience, Nagoya, Osaka, and so on. So just weigh the advice that you are taking from the different individuals. And like I said, if you can find someone who is actually in the location that you would be going, it would be much better. It may not be 100% exact, because like I said, depending on exactly where you are and the people that you're among, your experiences will be different. Okay, so thank you so much for listening. It's my pleasure sharing my experience with you, and I'm looking forward to sharing so much more. Love you lots, love you, and God bless you. Thank you for checking in with me, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.